mutating virus. When I look in the mirror, there's a man that I see who's been searching a lifetime for a way to be free, never knowing the darkness that was following me like a mutating virus, one that I couldn't see. And I breathed you in, and I fell again. I can see the end. Here I am now, I transcend. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I was searching for answers, they were there all the time, but I just couldn't see them. In my heart I was blind. I believed in your story, now I know it wasn't true. And I see who I am now, and I know what to do. And I'm breathing in, and I start again. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. Just turn around and go. I can't do this anymore. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I want you to know that I let you go. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. I want you to know.
Greetings. Welcome everybody. Woo! Feels like I've been here missing for a year. Just one night and I already missing you guys. Welcome everybody. Welcome. I'm feeling like a whole new man. I definitely needed yesterday. So thank you, Will, for filling in. Appreciate it. You did an amazing job, brother. Welcome to all you beautiful people. Amy S. Amy Ting. You got two Amy's tonight. Barbara, Denise, George, Gilbert, Joshelle, John, Coach Cola, and who's MH? What is your full name? Reveal yourself. Michael Harder twice. Powell from Sweden. By the way, super cool of what you did for Gilbert, brother. We appreciate you. Stefan, Tiffany. Your memes are freaking awesome, Tiffany. I don't know if you're making them yourself, but super like on point. Vanessa, Wilhelm, Paul, and I think that's it for here on Zoom. And then we got Facebook going, YouTube, we got LinkedIn going. So as always, we'd love to know where you guys are calling in from. Oh, you haven't gotten a hold of Gilbert. Okay, well, we'll make sure that you get a hold of him. Oh, okay, you're just doing the divinity wording. Well, still, little tweak here and there. It's perfect. I love them. Yeah, would love to know where you guys are calling in from. We got a lot of familiar faces, a couple of new ones. So as always, would love to know where you guys are calling in from, wherever you're streaming from. Whew. So yeah, it's been an interesting last 24 hours. I'll share with you what happened for me. So it was not yesterday, but the night before. I was working with our website developer. He's working on our funnels. He's working on our website. He's working on our membership portal. And we were up to like 7 a.m. And surprisingly, just one night, like I had done my morning divine focus, I did my afternoon divine focus, but I cut it short on my last divine focus for the night, maybe 5 minutes rather than going like 20-30 minutes or an hour or however long. And that day, and we're always going to share authentically. I'm just going to share where I was at and why I didn't show up yesterday. I had eaten some donuts, even though I knew I shouldn't have eaten donuts. And I actually woke up yesterday and my throat was killing me. Like I ended up having, like, asked one of my nurse friends, and she was saying like I had tonsillitis because my throat was hurting and my ear was hurting as well. And so I'm like, what the heck happened? I haven't gotten sick in so long. And so I told Jamie, like, hey, like I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna send us to rest. I'm going to divine focus all night, all day. And so welcome, Arcadia. So I ended up just divine focusing all day yesterday, all day today. And it was at like, maybe I'd say like a pain of like 80-90%. And literally within 24 hours, it's like completely gone. And the funny thing is like, I had like, my nurse friend was like, oh, you need to take this medicine and that medicine. And I'm like, no, I don't need that. And the reason why is I actually started watching Dr. Robert Hawkins, and he's talking about all of the different, welcome, Vanessa from Hong Kong. So he's talking about like, working on the physical, utilizing the physical. So for example, like if you're dealing with whatever issue, whether it's cancer, whether it's a gut issue, sleep, insomnia, whatever, trying to work on it from the physical sense, like for example, using medication or whatever, you're still operating from the same level of thought that created it. And so working on the emotional aspect is the only thing that actually reverse it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to sit in my divine focus until I feel 100%. And so I literally just sat there. I probably did like maybe 4 or 5 sessions yesterday, another 4 or 5 today. And every single time I did it, it would go down and down and down and down. And so whatever issue that you're dealing with, it has to be dealt with on an energetic level. And Jamie is asking, he's like, why did you do that? And I'll just be very frank. Why did I create it? Like, why did I create that situation? It was really self-sabotage. And interestingly enough, so I basically met a girl and she had like hit every single box that I wanted in a partner. And I realized that I actually self-sabotaged myself because it was easier to do that than to actually just fully accept that. And so, yeah, it's interesting how that happens. But whenever you're fully conscious, you can't get away from anything, and it'll manifest a lot faster. Like if you're not conscious, you can kind of get away from like lying to yourself, right? But whenever you are at this level of consciousness, there is no getting away with anything. It'll just manifest just as fast as just as like very quickly, like 10 times faster than before. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, being completely transparent with you all. And it's crazy because everything that you create in your life, whether it's something negative or positive, it was your doing. And so, yeah, I'm just super grateful to be here with you all, as always. And Mark is saying this may have been discussed before, and I can't make these meetings due to time. But what is happening for the Pioneer members from Incomation? I don't know what Incomation is, bro. Yeah. But yeah, we're super excited to have you all. We're right on track for the website rollout, for the new funnels, for the membership and all that. So we'll be releasing that here in the next few days. And I'm not sure if what happened. I was like on yesterday for a little bit, but we are going to still obviously be having the February 7th event. So make sure that you're getting all of your friends and family there, because that's going to be the last live event that we're going to have, last free live instant transformation event. So with that being said, yeah, I would love to introduce our CEO, Mr. Jamie Devine, and let you experience him. So, oh, here you go.
There you go, bud. Yay, Jamie. Powell. Good to see you, Powell. And Paul from Greece and Vanessa in Hong Kong. My brother Jesse's in the house today. I just spilled water on myself too, by the way. And he stopped on his way from Vancouver and Hong Kong. It's his first time out of North America, so we're super excited to have him. You want to say hi to everyone?
No.
Yeah, come on up. So that's my younger brother Jesse.
How's it going?
Brother from the same mother, different father. And yeah, tell him why you came out here.
Well, I was up in lived north of right here.
Just hold it.
Hold it. So I lived North Canada in Falkland, and I broke my wrist actually on a motorcycle accident, and then I got laid off work, and I realized that the best time to come out here is right now. So my brother said, "Oh, let's fly you out," and I tried to get my fiance to come out too, but she didn't really like traveling. If you're up north and kind of a small town person, you don't really like leaving there. So she'll come around though. I'll get her down. I'll get her over here. But it was about a 30-hour travel time, but I made it here, and it's my second day here. So it's going, still learning the ropes and stuff, but yeah, it's going good though.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome, bud. So that's brother Jesse. Not to be confused by brother Chase. Chase is still on his journey. We're excited to have Jesse out here for a while. Can you guys hear me okay? That's still working. Tiffany says, awesome to have you, Jesse. Vanessa says, welcome, Jesse. Thank you, ladies. So yes, Jesse doesn't know quite what he's getting himself into yet, other than just want to see his brother and take a trip around the world. Why not? But he's going to be joining us live on my birthday event on the island in Don's Transformation. So he came with his questionnaire, and he's getting that prepared. Um, it's honestly just so awesome to have someone in our family like um, open and willing to go through it. I remember talking to Jesse about it, and he and as most of you know that have done the process, no matter what we said before the process, it still sounds like Chinese, until you actually experience it. And I remember talking to him on the phone before he got here about the process, and all I heard from him was like I just want a solution, like I've had a rough year, good and bad, but I just want a solution, and I'm open to anything at this point. And I remember going back 4 years, that's where I was at. I had done what I thought would bring me that fulfillment and happiness, traveled around the world, and made a little bit of money on the internet, had some freedom, so I thought, but I was still in my toxic patterns, just smoking weed every day, social alcoholic, very social, extremely. And it's funny, Sam was saying on the way here, it's like, you don't actually admit that you're an addict until you've overcome it. Like when you're in it, it's like you find all the excuses to justify it, right? It's like, nah, no, I'm just drinking because I'm traveling, or I'm just smoking weed because it's medicine, it hurts, helps me with my injury, like whatever. Um, but as Sam said, we can't get away with anything on this level anymore, because after the process where everything was unconscious before, now everything is right in your face and it's conscious and aware. Throw a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. You can't get away with being a victim anymore, because now you're suddenly 100% aware, 100% responsible. Yeah, exactly. So Sam last night said, yeah, I'm feeling a little sick and whatever. It's like, okay, all good. And then today I reached out, and he said, yeah, I think I got tonsillitis. And my first response was, why did you create that? And he didn't answer me in the messages, but then later on, I wasn't expecting him to come tonight, but he was 100% when we picked him up, like nothing had ever happened. And this morning it was like, I got tonsillitis, like I'm gonna be out for a while, and so I questioned him in the car ride on the way here. It's like, okay, so why did you create that? And he said, well, I ate a bunch of donuts. I said, well, that's the surface level, like that's the symptom of it. What's like, why, the real question is, why did you eat the donuts? And then he started getting to the core of it. Oh, like I met this girl, and I imagined it was perfect, and then next thing you know, finding out it's not. And so then that's where that sabotage or self-abuse comes in, right? And that's going back to my addictions before. That's what it was about. Like if you go to the core cause of everything, when I was abused as a 3-year-old, right, when I was defenseless and vulnerable and weak, and received that abuse, years later I wasn't around that abusive person anymore. So guess what? I was abusing myself. I was abusing myself because that was the toxic pattern, was that I get abused. So if someone wasn't there to physically do it to me, I had to do it on any level possible. And emotional abuse is really the same as physical. What's this from Tui Twa? Bula from Brisbane, Queensland. Welcome. What's this with Gilbert? Oh, okay. We should get them connected, like, private or whatever. So who do we got on the call here? You go through the participants, Joel. And where'd that water go? How's Tiffany doing today? Anything you want to share, Tiffany?
Hi, I'm good.
Awesome.
Um, well, I don't know. I feel like and I know I'm not, shouldn't be comparing, but I just, you guys, I feel like my shares are so much like smaller and more insignificant than you guys is. But yeah, I just have such a simple life here with, and married for so long and my kids. But anyway, okay, so I have two little dogs and they are Shih Tzus and they're just mean.
Go ahead, Tiffany.
And I I've tried getting them groomed a couple of times in 2 or 3 years, and they just bite the people. And so I've been doing it, but I hate doing it. Anyway, I made an appointment with this new lady, and yesterday was the day to take them. And I was just anxious the whole day, like, this isn't gonna work. And anyway, and then I just finally realized where my mindset was going. And on the way there, I pulled over and I did a divine focus. And I did it like with the dogs and with the lady in my mind and with myself and what I was like projecting onto everybody. And yeah, I dropped them off, and in 5 hours later, she called me back. And yeah, they were ready and they were beautiful and it worked. And I was so shocked because I just did not think. But at one point, they were there for a long time, and my ego started saying, or the ego started saying, "Did this lady kill your dogs?" And now she's trying to find replacements because they were anyway. Um, yeah, and then I told you yesterday about my negative friend who was in town, and we went to lunch with her, and yeah, I realized that she just totally throws me off of my game. Um, she's the friend that I've kept around because I'm allowed to be negative and to complain, and I don't have to worry about what I say if I just want to be mean. And so that's kind of how we've always been friends. But now I realize, like, I don't want any part of that. Um, and I've even started something with my kids. I created this acronym called Mrs. McJ Street, and it stands for making fun of, ridiculing, shaming, mocking, judging. I can't think of it all right now, but I like created a poster and I have it hung up in our house. And my kids are like 20 and 19 and 14, so they're not little. Um, but I realized that we have raised them, me and my husband have raised them kind of like judging other people, and it's funny, and um or making fun of, and everyone giggles. And so I started telling them, like, hey guys, this isn't really funny. We're just doing this as like a way to connect because that's all we've ever known. um and so it's always so hard changing these things because, like I said, they're older and we've done it their whole lives. And not bad, just just a little bit. But even that little bit, they've learned and they've taken on. And so anyway, I just, the way I do it with my family is I just create these fun things, and so it sticks. So like in the future, you know they could use it, or they'll just remember it. I guess that's the thing. And so, yeah, if somebody says something that like judges someone else, or they're playing a video game together and they're like, you suck or whatever, um, we always say like, hey, no, no, Mr. J Streeting, or no, Mrs. I've changed the acronym so many times. So we just like, hey, stop J Streeting, or but anyway, my point is, coming back to my negative friend I was with yesterday, I just realized, like, that's our relationship. And I had to send her to this little poster I made and tell her, I'm not interested in Mrs. McJ streeting with you any longer. And it's kind of a big deal because I don't know what our friendship is beyond that. So yesterday was kind of an up and down. The ego is there a lot. And I ended up when we had lunch with them, after we had lunch, I ended up feeling sick. And then I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized when I went to bed that I was just, all of this stuff that I'm telling you right now that are about our friendship, and I'm just no longer interested in that anymore. And so I just did my divine focus and went to sleep, and I just woke up, like half hour ago, and I feel so much better. I feel great today. So anyway, that's my little share. Thanks for asking.
That's amazing, Tiffany. Thank you for sharing. A lot of awareness in that. I love the pattern interrupts with your children, and recognizing that you are actually giving yourself permission to go into those negative states by having that person around. So that's huge. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Vanessa, I see you on the call. Last time we heard from you, you had the C word. How are things going? Oh, no microphone. Okay, got it. All good. Gilbert. Oh, wow. Vanessa says she has no more COVID, tested tonight. So Vanessa, how many days ago was that you came on and said you just tested positive for COVID? Like 4 or 5 or something? So yeah, Vanessa came on, and yeah, not too long ago. Vanessa came on, shared that she tested positive for the C word. Don't want to get banned. And I shared a couple of stories. Yeah, I think it was Thursday as well, Vanessa. A couple of stories. One that Don shared with me a few times of he was in Vancouver, and he went down into the recycling room of his condo. And as he's going into the recycling garbage room, he bumps into this guy that's just all keeled over. He said he looked like he was gray and about to die any second. And Don said, "Hey man, like you don't look so good. What's going on?" And the guy said, "Well, I've had prostate cancer for 16 months now. I've had 32 radiation treatments, and I don't know how much longer I have." And Don said, "Don't listen to that bullshit. Can I ask you a few questions?" And goes through a series of questions with them for about 15 minutes. And then that's it, brings them through that process. And they exchange numbers. The guy's name was Al Volgenic. And Al calls Don about 3 weeks later. He says, "Hey, Don, this is Al, met you in the garbage room. Just wanted to let you know I just tested negative for cancer. I don't have any cancer." And so again, going back to that full awareness responsibility thing, right? No different than Sam creating the tonsillitis that he named it this morning. So whatever the name is, it's just the ego creating these illnesses, these diseases in us. So I shared that with Vanessa, and how people have created and uncreated cancer. And that's freaking awesome. I mean, what day is it today? That's Sunday? Sunday. So yeah, I think it was Thursday that she shared that she had just tested positive for COVID, or the C word, sorry. Sunday now, 4 days later. No COVID. Wow, what a shocker. Sam had tonsillitis apparently this morning. Didn't hear anything in his voice that was that had anything to do with his throat not working. So isn't that amazing how powerful we freaking are? Like, seriously. If we're willing to accept the responsibility of that. I know so many people, myself included, when I first went through the process with Dawn, I was like, holy shit, man, like I can't blame anything anymore. I can't be a victim anymore. Like, what the heck? And there's a like the ego created fear around that for me. I was just like, holy shit, how much power do I have? Like when Don shared with me that he had changed the weather, like had stopped hurricanes and stopped walls of rain coming at them. And at the time he had changed the weather 40 something times. And I was thinking like, yeah, right, man. Like, I don't know. It must have been just coincidence. It's the guy just making up these stories. So it was that's when it kicked in. Like, I got to try to change the weather, right? And I'll share the short version of it. I was in Vancouver, and Vancouver, if you know, rains all the time. And I was about to go see Joshua, who was living 4 hours away in a place called Vernon, 4 hours north of Vancouver. And I wanted to drive a convertible. So I go to 3 different rental car companies. The first 2 tell me they don't have a convertible available, but it's going to rain this weekend, so why would you need a convertible? And the third one said the same thing, but I ignored it. I just kept going. No, I want a convertible. I want a convertible. So the day of, I go to pick up the convertible, pouring rain, like just total downpour. Go pick up another friend, Riley, and his girlfriend in Vancouver, and then we get on the highway, and we're just past Chilliwack, still pouring rain, like the highways are just drenched. And I look over to Riley and I say, it's going to stop raining after Hope, which is a town outside of Vancouver. And I didn't think of anything of it when I said it. He definitely didn't think anything of it. We just let it go. All of a sudden we go through Hope, still raining. We get to the next town called Merritt. We stop over to go to the bathroom, and now it's sprinkling instead of like downpour when we get back out from the bathroom to go to the car. And just my intuition said, you can take the top down now. So I said, let's throw the top down. And Riley looks at me like I'm freaking crazy. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, sure about this? So I'm like, yeah, let's just throw it down. So we throw it down, still just sprinkling. We get back on the highway. 5 minutes later, no less, 0 rain. And I recognize that on the highway, it's completely dry. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird, right? But I still wasn't connecting the dots. I was still like, yeah, whatever. Like, just kept going. So 3 hours later, we get to the Kelowna, and then we're going up this mountain in Vernon where Josh and Sloan were living. We're going up the mountain. There's even thunder going on as we're heading up the mountain. Still no rain, right? 3 hours of this drive with the top down the entire time. We park the car at his house. Still no rain. We put the convertible top up. Still no rain. We open the car door and step out of the car. Pouring rain to the point where we had to run into the house because we were getting soaked. Still didn't think anything of it until we were in the house. And I look at Riley, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I remembered when I said it was going to stop raining. It was just crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I've done it a few more times after that, but the point is that when I recognize, like, having that experience of like, that was a very clear-cut experience of the power that I have. It can be extremely scary to accept that, right? Because now you're thinking, well, I was at least thinking, fuck, like, if I can change the elements, like the weather, what the hell else can I change? What else am I responsible for here? You know, and that was a lot. So I got a great example for you. Many of you have seen Joshua, the one that got in the car accident. And then he was in a walker, right? Doctors told him he would never walk again, even with a walker. Next thing you know, through some physio. A couple months later, he's in this walker. Now, when I had met him, he had been in the walker for 4 years or 3 years. It took him a whole year to come around to work with Don and go through the process. So he was in the walker for 4 years by the time he met with Don. The very next day, many of you have seen the video, he's sprinting on an open field, sprinting without his walker. So every now and then he makes a post, because here's the craziest part. He gave that up. He disconnected from me, blocked me on all social media, stopped talking to Don, cut his process halfway through, went back to the ego, went back to the victim story. Do you imagine how little responsibility Joshua has to take by being in a walker? Everyone around him, like when I hung out with him, I literally had to help him up like a curb, just like a curb. And he had never been in the ocean before, so to go swimming, you know, where the sand hits, you can't do the walker thing anymore. So I'm carrying him on my shoulder, right? All his body weight just to bring him on the beach into the ocean. Okay, so talk about having to take zero responsibility. And then you get disability checks in Canada, you know, for having a handicap, all that. So a lot to give up, right? And anyways, I every now and then when I see, because he unblocked me 6 months ago, I see his posts saying, yeah, you know, I got in the accident, and then step one was to get in the walker, and I'm still working on, you know, not being able to, or not having to use the walker. So I'll just comment the video on it, on his post, and say, yeah, are you sure about that? Like, don't you remember it happened in a second? And anyway, can you pull up my Facebook? Because I had a back and forth. Because again, I did it a couple days ago, and then of course he deletes it as soon as he wakes up. So I had to message him at this point, right? Because all he was doing is deleting the video that I was posting of him running on the field. So I just said, why do you keep deleting your divinity? And he says, people will get the wrong idea that don't know what happened. I prefer to keep that moment in the past. I haven't been able to do it since that day, and seeing it pisses me off. So please delete it and do not post it anywhere, just like I've deleted it. So talk about hiding from your power, right? And I said, how about you reconnect with Don so it's not in the past anymore? The ego just tricked you to make him the enemy and give up your divinity. Same thing happened to me. And, you know, he still hasn't responded, but we'll see. I'm working on it. So that's a very clear physical example. Like, imagine having full access to your legs after 4 years of not being able to walk without a walker, being able to run, and then completely avoiding that and giving that up. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Vanessa says, I find that scary that we are powerful beyond measure. Yeah, that reminds me of that Marianne Williamson quote. You want to pull that up actually, so I don't, that explains it perfectly. And I remember when I first worked with Don, it was a few weeks that I was holding that energy, changing the weather, doing this crazy shit. And it did get to the point where I was like, holy shit, this is scary. And I went back to, you know, okay, I'm going to smoke the weed, see if I can get unconscious about this, right? Like, hide from it. And no matter how much weed I smoked, you know, you can't deny the experiences. As much as Joshua 2 years later is trying to do that. Like Sam and I were talking about it, we're like, man, he must be using some substances to try to hide from that experience. Like, just look at the message he sent me back. I deleted it all. I want you to delete it. Like, he's just totally, yeah, hiding from it. Vanessa said, you can't hide from yourself. Eventually it will come up. Yep. And guess who will be there, right? Ready to help is when Joshua's ready not to hide anymore. You know what quote I'm talking about? The Marianne Williamson. We're powerful beyond measure. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's not our light. No, it's not our darkness.
Jamie, can I say it?
Oh, Gilbert,
Jamie.
go ahead. Yeah, he knows it by heart. Go for it, Gilbert.
Our deepest fears is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fears is that we're powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. You playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in every single one of us. And as we allow our own light to shine, we unconsciously allow others to do the same. And once we're liberated from our own fears, our presence will automatically liberate others.
Woo! Nailed it. Awesome, Gilbert. Well, I sense you have something else to share with us, so please go ahead, sir. What's going on over there?
Yeah, no, the ego is trying to mess with me, yo. Like, it's not letting me talk to Pal at all. That's one of the things that I did discover yesterday. Like, Facebook unsends my friend request, and it says, please don't send people you don't even know. So it says some weird stuff. It's trying to prevent me from trying to communicate with them, period. That's why I tried doing it on here, because I was like, I can't get a hold of him privately at all. Like, it doesn't let me. I have a lot of messages sent to him, but he's not seeing it at all. It's not letting me send it out. Not only that, but yesterday, my spine, I thought my spine was already like fully, because I feel better than ever, but it did another adjustment yesterday, and I felt that crack, and I was like, oh yeah, I felt so alive. I was like, man, my back was really jacked up. I didn't realize it. So the crazy thing is too, not only that, but it was trying to send some fear my way. My neighbor, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but there's a silver poplar. She's like a 70-foot silver poplar that toppled over onto her house yesterday. Like, the winds were like nasty. So yesterday when I got that adjustment, during that same time frame, that tree toppled over and it went over her house, but it's like aiming in my direction to where my mobile home's at. And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm glad her house caught it. And then I just want to share one more too about the ego. In my dream, oh my God. So my aunt used to take care of us. My mom had to go to work early, so she had to drop us off like at 4 a.m. And then so my aunt was taking care of us. So I had, for me, she's very influential in my life, and I appreciate her for being like another mother for me and taking care of us when we're little rascals growing up. So I really appreciate her. Not only that, but my cousin Frankie was there. So we always had a lot of nostalgia. He had a Super Nintendo when it barely came out. So we were there playing Donkey Kong and Mortal Kombat. So every time we passed by their street, right, well, I was just like, turn left, turn left, turn left. And then she did turn left. And I'm like, oh. But that's the kind of like influence, and that's the good nostalgia that the ego was trying to use in my dream the other night, trying to use my aunt and my cousin, and they were like smoking weed. And I was just like, first of all, both of y'all don't even smoke weed. So I'm like, all right, ego, you get really pathetic with this. Like, seriously, that's sad. Like, just stop. Just stop, bro. Like, seriously, just give up already. Like, it's pretty sad. So yeah, no, that, and then of course, Powell, of course, he was a beautiful blessing yesterday as well too. So of course, I want to highlight that and tell him I appreciate it. And if he's ever in town, he has a home over here to visit, ever in Texas or El Paso, that's the least I can do. He's treating me like fam, even though, I can't reach out to him for some reason and express this. I'm grateful that this platform is on here so I can tell him, pal, I really do appreciate you, bro. You have no idea. And I want you to know that if you ever need anything, want to learn any skills, I have a lot of skills, bro. So if you want to learn anything whatsoever, I got you. Okay. I love you and I appreciate you for trying to reach out when, you know what I mean? When I'm glad I had faith, and faith is powerful because you came through with that faith and you were my blessing and you are my blessing. So thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to the trip. So that's what I have to share for now. It wasn't super, super good news all the time, but there's your trials and tribulations too. Okay. And I'm seeing them for what they are. And I'm not, I just breathe in deeper, baby. And I just, of course, interlock my fingers every time, whatever. That's all I got. Thank you so much. Woo!
Awesome, Gilbert. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing to have you out here. Excited to make that happen. And Powell dropped his phone number. Maybe try that on WhatsApp or something. Um, Sam maybe can coordinate that too. So just to make sure. Um, Amazing. What else we got here on the call? Can you scroll up?
Hey, Jamie, it's Tui
Hey,
from Australia.
hey,
Can I,
Tui. Welcome.
can I just quickly send you my love? I've been watching you from the back for probably the last 11 or 12 months. And man, I love it. The first time I saw you, somebody asked a question and you were so calm and you said, yes, that's a very good question. But it was a very hard question. It was to do with crypto. And you handled it so calm. I said, my goodness, there's something about this guy. And I've been watching you, and I just want to just quickly say hello to you because I've only got like 17% left on my phone, and I've been out at work. It's about almost 2 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning. And I just want to send my love and blessings to you guys. I am so thankful to be here with this team. I love the sharing. I watch it every day. Unfortunately, I'm not always able to be able to come on live because I start work the next day, and it doesn't here in Australia. It comes on about 1 o'clock in the morning. But I just want to send my love and blessing to everybody. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be part of this team, and thankful for everything you guys are standing for. We as a team, we can do it. Love and blessings.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for sharing. Great to see you. And that's a major commitment being on in Australia at 1, 2 in the morning. So thanks for being with us. Excited
Thank
to
you.
meet you in person. Philippines ain't too far from Australia.
That's a good point. I got to see what the wife thinks about it.
Yeah, bring her along. Awesome.
Thank you.
Great. Can we scroll up, Joel? If anyone wants to share anything, comments or questions, feel free to just jump in, or else I'm going to call out a couple. LK, man, I've seen you've been showing up a lot. What's going on in LK's world? Go up again. Eric, been seeing you a lot too, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing good, Jamie. Doing good. Uh, doing the journey and enjoying the atmosphere change, man. It's been quite refreshing to finally feel what's been missing. You know,
Mm.
all that other stuff just is really just confuses things and just brings all the negative energy, and you just feel like it's not even something's missing here. And just like what Tua was just saying, I said, man, this guy's is just putting it all on the shoulders here and just standing tall. I'm like, you don't see that. I haven't seen that in the past at least 10 years in anything. Yeah. Even when you hear people's story, you can look at them and just tell that, boy, they've really tried to polish their skills up on their BS. But there was just something different with you, and I was, it's been refreshing just to filter all that out and having all that other stuff to start dropping to the wayside, and now just being in the atmosphere of just the knowing and in the present with so many people here now. It's just refreshing, and definitely appreciate the journey. I've done meditation for over 30 years, and past 10 years I've missed that connection and having my vibration being high. So it was kind of like, okay, let me see what this guy's talking about. And when you brought down, I think I mentioned in the chat once that I'm like, oh, this dude is freaking whacked. I don't know what he's talking about. You can't do that easily. And so I kind of turned the volume down and then let the talk. Then he's like, oh, we're gonna try this. So I'm like, you know, I I had so much monkey chatter telling me, man, don't listen to him, man. Just keep following what Jamie's saying, and you're telling the story, saying, hey, it works. So I'm like, okay. So I was on the live when he first did it, and then I rewatched the recordings, and start just seeing my vibration level rising. So I'm like, oh man, maybe there's something to this, but all the experience is telling me no. But then he said, well, it took him 44 years. So, well, someone must have found a path to staying in their vibration at this level. So it's just been refreshing. It's without having everything else on your mind about business stuff, just being grounded with this is just very refreshing. And I can definitely see my vibration level going up by just doing the defense. Kind of like you, but yeah, I had some friends come over and all that negative, wanting to talk politics. I'm like, oh man, I'm sitting there with my fingers interlocking. I'm like, hey, you guys gotta stop this. Man. Oh no, but did you watch it on TV last night? Like, no, man, I don't watch TV like news stuff. I said, if I'm watching anything, I'm watching a movie. And just okay, they get off the topic and then they're right back to it. No, you need to turn into this. You need to start paying attention. Like, no, you need. I said, hey, it was just, oh my gosh, it was like I needed a shield in my hand from it. It's like they wanting to just bring me and drag me into it. I'm just like, nah, I'm not. So it's funny how you're like, oh, all of a sudden now I'm no fun, but no, I'm just not allowing you to bring my vibration down, right? So it's interesting when you see it right in front of you, and yeah, I enjoy it because I enjoy those kind of battles with snapper heads anyway when they want to be like that. So yeah, keep up the good work, man. I'm enjoying it.
Awesome, Eric. Thanks for sharing, man. Really appreciate you being with us so much. And refreshing is a very nice word for the total shift that we've made really just in the last, what has it been? 2 weeks since maybe not even. Yeah, 10 days, I don't know. That we just put a solid boundary on that shit. Where it was like, okay, no more ego. Divinity's number one. Every decision we make, is this bringing me closer to my light or further away? And things get extremely clear when you have that filter for all your decisions. And this environment that's been curated out of the last 10 days just from that initial decision, which, I mean, the ego used so many different ways to stop us from making that decision. That was not an easy decision to make, how much was invested in the old system and all of that stuff. And it is extremely refreshing that we are where we're at now. LK, can you come on and share that with your mic unmuted? I don't know if you were trying, but we couldn't hear you before. But that's absolutely amazing. If you can't, I'll read it out. But wow.
Wow. Holy moly.
Yeah. Okay, I figure you can't, so I'll read it for everyone. LK said, got rid of a walking cane that I'd been using as a crutch by the ego. It's freaking awesome, man. Kudos to you. Yeah, after you see Joshua throwing his walker and running, it's going to be pretty hard for anyone to use a cane after that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, hey Jamie, you hear me?
There he is. Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah,
So what happened?
a couple of years ago, it was summer of 22. I broke an ankle, right? And had to go through the operation, had a metal plate put it the whole 9 yards, right? So I was basically couldn't put any weight on that foot for about 5 months. I'm walking around with crutches, and I had a knee scooter in the house, and just all kinds of crazy shit. Actually, there was another a gentleman out of Canada. Canada puts out a lot of good people and a lot of just ideas that are just awesome, man. But he had developed a uh, device called the X-Leg, and where you could put this thing on. If you were ordered by your doctor not to put any weight on a limb or something, a foot. And I bought one of them from him. It was you know pretty expensive. It was like $800, but hey, if you want to walk around without crutches and stuff and almost normal, I bought the thing and used it. Anyway, I got over it, and the healing of the ankle was, it went through fine. But after everything was healed, I was walking with a crutch, or not a crutch, but a walking cane. And all this time I'm feeling I needed it. Everywhere I'd go, I'd have to make sure I'd had my cane. And and after I went through the process with Don, I'm thinking, God, do I really need this cane? And I remember getting in the car one time and heading off somewhere, and oh man, I forgot my cane. And then I said, yeah, I don't need it. And so I went to where I needed to go, and got out of the car and walked just like I always walk. So I mean, I got rid of the cane, man. I'm saying I don't need it. It was something that I used it. People looked at me, said, "Oh, that poor guy, that he's got to walk with a cane." Here I am. I'm 74 years old, Jamie. I'm not a spring chicken, but I like I said, got rid of the cane, man, and I'm so happy. I'm so glad of that.
Wow, man, that's absolutely amazing.
I mean,
Congratulations, dude.
I'm not like Josh. I'm not gonna be like Josh and just keep using like Josh.
Yeah, apparently not. Wow, what a decision. And just so you know, Don would correct you and say you're forever young is what your correct age is.
Okay. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I want to tell you about that. Yeah, Jamie. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for sharing, man. That's really powerful for everyone to hear. Okay. Do another scroll, please. Michael, been seeing you a lot, man. You got anything to share with us? Michael Harder. Powell says, where is Don? Don is on Divinity Mountain and circling Gold Dawn Mountains. He's got two of those, Gold Dawn Mountains. Gold Dawn Mountain number 1, Gold Dawn Mountain number 2. He's the only non-native that's ever even took a step on these two mountains. Like they're guarded, in case of terrorism or anyone trying to steal or anything like that, because the mountains have gold in them. So on one of them, they're panning for gold. The other one, they've been drilling, and they just found their first small nugget. What was that, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago? Yeah. How big was the big one? I saw a picture of one of them. Anyway, apparently they found nuggets, and what I do remember and recall is there's a mountain across the way that they've been drilling for gold for, I think it was 3 years. And in 2 months, Don's Mountains have surpassed the progress and the amount of gold found by the other one that's been doing it for 3 years. So that was pretty awesome. What time are we at?
Well, before.
Cool. Got something to share? Come on up. So February 7th, remember that's going to be the last transformation that we can do for absolutely free. So please encourage anyone that you truly care about to be at that one for sure. No sense them paying the next month if you can, get them in on this one. And Sam's got a bunch of stuff to share and updates, I'm sure, on all the systems stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, great to see you guys. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. And really excited for February 7th. We're going to be doing it on an island. We got to bring the satellite Starlink internet because they don't even have internet on it. And we're going to be doing the program at sunrise, which is about 6 a.m. here. 6 a.m. our time, which will be 5 p.m. Eastern. So lock that in, not going to want to miss it. Of course, you can always catch the recording, but being live is just a whole other experience. My brother's going to be there in the room. I'm sure his fiance, Shailene, will be tuning in from Canada. So it's going to be quite the event. We're excited. See you tomorrow.
So very, very cool. Just new, beautiful updates from the community. It's really cool to hear your testimony, LK, going from using a walker or the cane and now not using it. Just hearing Gilbert with all of the things that he shared with, the spine adjustment, even though he gave it up, Joshua Gabby's story with him literally in a walking, what is it called? The walker, and then running, and then I got to experience it, just like a lot of men, whenever we get sick, we'd like turn into a whole like big baby and stuff. And that's where I was at. I was like being a victim to my circumstance and then realizing that I have the power to reverse it. And that's the power that we all have. And Jamie, he shared that quote, right? Like we're actually afraid of our own power. I don't want to butcher it, but Gilbert could say it by heart, but we're afraid of our own power, our own light. And so I just want you to think about what is it that you can actually do? What can you actually create in your life? If you can reverse a disease, right? What else is possible? And that's what this community is all about. It's about helping you tap back in to your inner power, your inner knowing. And so we're super excited to have you guys. Our systems are going to be live here soon. I know that a couple of people have been having some difficulties with the membership, but we'll have it all cleared out here in the next couple of days. The website's going to be fully ready to go. The last couple of things that we're waiting on is the smart contracts, which is going to be amazing. I don't know really any company that does this. So essentially what the smart contracts are going to do is, let's say you refer somebody, what the smart contract will do is, let's say you refer your friend to the membership. As soon as they actually purchase the membership, you get paid instantly. So that's going to be really amazing. And we see you guys as partners, right? So like on every single level, whether you're referring to the broker or to the crypto bank or whatever, we're going to compensate you for everything. So we're super excited to finally launch this, to get things going. And just very, very is the 7th the same day in the US? Yes. 7th same what will be the 8th? Oh yeah, it's gonna be the 8th in the morning, the 7th in the US. So 7 p.m. Or 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, we're really excited. What else do we have going? We have the crypto bank. We're just working on a couple of the things, couple of the pieces. It's like the branding. It was like mostly done. They're just waiting on those things. And then what about the broker? Broker's in progress. So we just have a couple of moving pieces because this is like, obviously, this is unlike anything. Just starting with the divinity process, nobody has a process that gives you an instant and a permanent transformation, of course. And then all the other pieces, whether it's a smart contract, whether it's the broker, whether it's the crypto bank, whether it's the institutional traders that are trading for us and giving people like you and I an ability to invest with them. No one's done any of these things. So just give us a little bit more patience. I promise you it's going to be so worth it. And yeah, we're just excited. It's really one of a kind. And so we're just happy to have you guys here with us. And yeah, Powell, awesome. Thank you for being here every night. Don't forget, invite your friends. Invite them. All it takes is a few minutes. Just share it with 5 people a day, 5 new people. And what I would suggest is if you don't know, I don't want to get all network marketing and stuff, but pull out a piece of paper and just write a list of people that you care about, that you want to experience this level of consciousness. And I would suggest starting with your friends and family because, like I've said before, it will be extremely hard for you to have a relationship with them. I mean, you might be able to, it'll be fine, but they're going to be very triggered by you when you're operating at this high level of consciousness. They're just going to, because you're going to be illuminating all their shadows. So anyone that you really care about, I'd invite them, and it's their choice. You know, if they want to be a part of it, cool. If they don't, also cool. So with that being said, we love you guys. Oh, onboarding call. Yes. So we'll be doing the onboarding call at 1 a.m. Philippines time. That's 12 Eastern. Will's going to drop the link right here in the chat. If you need help with anything, whether it's the divinity process, whether it's the Forex or the crypto fund, Will be elated and happy, right? It's not so hard anymore with
Says 0 stress level with you.
Yeah, he was saying there was at 100% stress when he's doing the Forex stuff and with incomation, and now he's at 0. So thank you guys for being a breeze to work with. Awesome, guys. We love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 Philippines time and 10 a.m. Eastern. All the love.